Okay, so we've talked a bit this morning about what is social innovation in a university setting, what is social innovation at the University of Calgary, that the group that Karen leads, the Social Innovation Initiative that you'll hear called SII. What do we want to call it here at University of Calgary? And now we want to get into a little bit about the how. How would you do social innovation at University of Calgary? How would you do it more efficiently and effectively if you've now realized that you're actually already doing social innovation? So here is a group of our colleagues at the University of Calgary who are representing various innovation accelerators, different groups at the University of Calgary. And we hope that this last agenda item before our networking lunch will be a little bit more fun than a traditional panel. So we're going to do a little play for you, reenactment of the university's social innovation ecosystem at work. So complementing this play is the information that are linked in those QR codes. So there's a little description of each of the different accelerators, and then some figures that explain the innovation ecosystem here that's quite complex. It is a complex ecosystem, even for the people who are in it, or people like myself who've been trying for many years to understand what it's all about. So it's understandable that most researchers feel a bit daunted by it, and that's what we want to address here. So the reason it's complex is that you have a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge and evidence in the field of innovation to be had from these experts. And there's some strategic overlap and redundancy between the different shops, the different accelerators. So people like me who want a simple answer keep asking for a roadmap through this ecosystem. And you'll see some figures like that at those QR codes. So there's been efforts at that. But as Karen, the SII's fearless leader, is fond of saying, any door is the right door to knock on in this ecosystem. And that's the title, Knock on Any Door, of our little play here. So yeah, you may get confused where you need to start in your innovation journey or continue on in your innovation journey, but these people understand that, and they're really good about redirecting you if necessary to the best accelerator group to support you wherever you are in your journey. So a few disclaimers about our panel and play. Although this reenactment is based on a true story, the continuing story of Dr. Megan Edwards' interactions with the innovation ecosystem, we have taken some artistic liberties. I'm not going to do the traditional introductions. The introductions are part of the play. You'll see we have the opposite of a manel here, but in real life, all genders are welcome. And unfortunately, the realistic flow of our script is hampered a bit by the fact that we only have the one roving mic, which is required for the online audience. So part of your participation will be to use your imagination to overcome these little limitations. But the major part of your participation will come at the end with the more traditional Q&A after our play. So. Yes. Without further ado, I give you social innovation at University of Calgary. Knock on any door. In scene one, Megan speaks with a representative of the Hunter Hub. And scene.
Hi, my name is Megan Edwards, and I am an associate professor in the teaching stream at Community Health Sciences, and specifically in community rehabilitation and disability studies. And so I'm kind of confused because myself and my colleague, Katrina Milani, who's in the audience today, we're a little confused. We want to somehow bring together community and academia and translate some of this awesome stuff that we do into social action. And we really want to help our community partners as well by making sure that things that they're doing are evidence-based, they can access evidence, and that we work together for systems change. Now, Katrina mentioned that there is a Hunter Hub for entrepreneurial thinking. And so we're sort of wondering, we have really great connections in the community, but we don't have the resources for the work that we're trying to do. We really want to do an environmental scan and we want to see where the gaps are. And so, do you have any ideas or know who else I should talk to about this?
Oh, hi, Megan. Yeah, that sounds really interesting project. And first of all, let me introduce myself. So my name is Fei Chen, and I'm the manager of venture programs at the Hunter Help Entrepreneurial Thinking. And one of my role is exactly helping you as a researcher and navigating the system to see what resources at Hunter Hub can really support you to further your research and also your social innovation projects. I'm not sure if you have heard about the Launchpad and also Map the System program that we offer.
No, I've never heard of it.
Don't worry, that's who I am to introduce you to those. So Map the System is a partnership program that we have with the University of Oxford. So it is really a process, a discovery process for participants of any disciplines who have an interest in terms of social and environmental change to create an impact. So participants in a Map the System program really dives really deep into the issues or issue that matters to you or to them, and really take the time to explore, probe, and research on all its connecting elements and factors, and later sharing your findings with the world. So sometimes when you're doing research problems, especially when you're trying to address the social needs, and you're feeling like you're trying to find problems, it's like peeling the layers of onions. And like, oh, before I solve this problem, this is another problem I need to solve. And then there's another problem, right? So this is exactly the process, the system thinking education process that we're going to help you explore how well you understand the landscapes of problems or social needs you want to change, and also how well you research on the current solutions that's currently available, and then how you can bridge the gap with your solutions from current solutions to the problem you want to solve. So this is really a program that is not just a challenge, and it really can really help you with your project environmental scan, also gap analysis, and also really great networking opportunities in national and also international level.
Sounds pretty daunting. I don't know.
Don't worry about it. No, that's not really. So I'll love to share with you more information afterwards for you to explore further. And we can also talk about it, to think about it. Maybe another program that may be more relevant to you now is the Launchpad program that Hunter Hub is currently offering. So the Hunter Hub Launchpad program really helps build entrepreneurial thinking skills across everyone, all 14 faculties, not just the students, but also the graduate students, the postdocs, researchers like you, faculty members, with an idea or even without an idea to start, how to start a startup or social innovation projects. Throughout the Launchpad, it's a 6-month program that you will experience weekly workshops and also Launchpad live sessions and also seminars, and then you'll be paired with coaches as well. And also you'll be able to join the final pitch competition, which we call liftoff competition. So really in this program, you hone your entrepreneurial thinking skills in your real world projects you're trying to solve, and then really designed to create an impact afterwards. Throughout the program, you'll learn. So we have 4 modules. You'll learn about the startup strategy. What does that mean to be an entrepreneur? What does that mean to social innovation, right? And how to start a startup, different modes of different kind of startup venture ideas. And then you're going to test your project ideas or doing market analysis, market validation. So you're not just throwing anything onto the wall to see it sticks. So you're really getting the feedbacks from the potential market of people that who will be able to benefit from your projects. We're going to explore that. And we're also learn about the soft side of being an entrepreneur, learn about the funding strategies, how to get grants, how to bootstrap, how to apply for fundings, right? Those are important things, and how to negotiate, how to understand the legal side of things, understand IP transfers. So you're going to learn all about that. And also we're going to learn momentum to scale is where you're going to learn about growth strategy, how you're actually going to bring out your projects to the community and to the people that who are going to benefit from it. So it's really create that sustainable organization that with the ongoing value. So this is what the Launchpad is about. So you're able to really dive in and have that experiential experience to test your theories and then learn about the tools and approaches and how you approach with your projects.
Faye, I don't have time for all that.
I completely understand. That's all the researchers that told me because you have your research initiatives, you have classes, you have everything ongoing, and how do you balance it out? So don't worry about that. You don't have to do all that. So we also know that there are trainees that who are dying to learn all those different kind of things related to social innovation. So, and also just want you to provide a real world problem for them to solve and for them to work on. So how about we set up with a trainee or 2 trainees for you and who can be part of your environmental scan gap analysis, and then to really help you to work on the projects. And also, I bet you'll be surprised how much of the things that they can learn in a program and which will benefit from your projects. Yeah, and I think one great thing I'm thinking about my colleagues from the Innovate Calgary, Joanne, I think we have some fund from Hunter Hub as well to fund trainees in partnership with Innovate Calgary. So let's bring Innovate Calgary in the loop.
Hello, hello. Okay. Hi, Faye.
Who might be interested in Innovate Calgary's Social Innovation Hub program. So could you please help us explain a little bit about Innovate Calgary?
Great, I'll just put you on speaker. Okay. Megan, you might not have known, but Faye has some fantastic AI where she was taking notes and sent them to me during your call. So I've already had a chance to review, and I'm really happy you had a chance to talk to Faye. Hunter Hub is a fantastic place to start to flesh out your ideas, strengthen your entrepreneurial skill set, and get access to some great tools, and to get a sense of sort of the landscape of the journey. Once you've picked up those skills, and once you've got something concrete, that is where we are very welcome to introduce you to our door at Innovate Calgary. So for us, you have something, you've moved past an idea and you've made something. We are now going to really sit in the stage of validation. We're going to get comfortable. We're going to get real deep in there. So we're going to test out, is the problem that you're solving the most acute problem for the community that you're working with? Is the solution the best fit for the resources and needs of the community? And what are some options for making it sustainable over the long term? So we really sit in validation to make you really confident about the foundations of the problem and the solution you're working on. As an example, we have an incubator program. It's a 6-month program. I can hear a little bit of breath there about 6 months, but okay, with me, so just give me a chance to give you a sense of everything involved, and then I'll give you a sense of some other options as well. So in this 6-month program, you get expert advising access in the specific industry you're working with. You get that critical student support that helps you with those time commitments, targeted training workshops, a monthly roundtable, all with the idea of helping move this project off the side of your desk. We understand with faculty, you have so many commitments. You need those supports, those resources to help you decide, is this something that has legs? Is this project something that I can move off and really commit to know if it has something that'll last over the long term? So we want to work beside you over that 6 months to make that decision at the end of it, if it's a go, no go. But the R2SI program is just one of the programs we have at Innovate Calgary's new Social Innovation Hub. And this is a hub that really focuses again on validating, developing, and scaling social innovations. We do this through formal programs like the incubator, but also, my dear, we have dedicated coaching where you sort of set the tone of the relationship. You can check in once a week, once every 2 weeks, every few days. You have a dedicated coach who will work alongside you. Networking opportunities so that you can expand your work to a broader audience. And we can talk about different types of funding beyond just grants. What are different types of social financing available to you to help your project be sustainable over the long term? The bottom line is we know that moving an idea into action is difficult. It's not easy. We really invest in people, in coaching. We'll meet with you as much as you like, as often as you'd like, as little as you'd like, and get you the resources that you need. Because we understand, especially for academics who are navigating between academia and the innovation ecosystem, a lot can get lost in translation. There's a lot of assumptions. So we want to work beside you to make sure we're navigating you through those 2 spheres. We need more voices in the innovation ecosystem. We need different perspectives. We need different problem-solving approaches. We need you, Megan. So we want to work with you to make sure that your idea gets launched and has the impact, and that we find the right journey for you to impact. moving forward, I'll check in with you in a few months. Maybe you'll take a stab at the Launchpad program and I'll connect back in with you and we'll decide if maybe the incubator program is a good fit for you then. But let's keep talking. In the meantime, we have a newsletter at the Social Innovation Hub, Social Innovation Hub Innovate Calgary. So I'd really encourage you to sign up there and we can just start to introduce you to some of the events, some of the people in the ecosystem, and then we can take it from there.
In our second scene, Megan is starting a new project and is not sure where to go for help. Innovate Calgary and Hunter Hub offered excellent support through their respective programs, and Megan and Katrina are developing the Equity Hub as an outcome of that work. But now Megan is taking a different step with a different support needs and has submitted the innovation intake form. Let's see what happens next.
Hi, Stephanie. It's Tara Barnes at the Social Innovation Initiative. I'm just calling because I received an innovation intake form yesterday from a researcher in the Department of Community Health Services. She's wanting to conduct research with the community agencies on their perceptions of being involved in the academic research endeavor, essentially research about research, if you will. Our SI team reviewed and agreed that it fits within the social innovation purview of both the Social Innovation Initiative and the Social Innovation Collaborative Group because it addresses a social need, many actually, since Megan's trying to improve university interactions with all sorts of community agencies who are addressing social needs. It relies on and builds relationships and collaborations. It's innovative. Again, it's supporting all sorts of innovation. Since it's trying to improve U of C research interactions with community partners, it's intentional and includes plans for implementation and execution. And it's definitely aiming for an improvement of university partner interactions to enhance social and good. Just curious to see what your thoughts are quickly, and do you think knowledge engagement can help here?
Thanks for this great phone call, Tara. Yeah, I definitely think knowledge engagement can help in this context. It sounds like the researcher has a good idea of what they're looking for and what their needs might be. And the knowledge engagement team can really help with some of that partnership with community organizations. So we do partnership matchmaking for researchers looking to connect with community organizations, particularly in those social sciences, humanities, and community health and policy spaces. So I think the matchmaking support that we offer could be a really good fit for that. So I think we could happily set up a consult with Dr. Edwards and just talk more about her needs and what kinds of community partners she might be looking for. And that can help us to kind of create that long list or short list of potential partners that she might be able to connect with for those needs. There's probably a couple of other ways that we can support too. We also have a knowledge engagement newsletter that goes out to community organizations as well as the university. So I think that could be a great place as well if we wanted to talk about different levels of connection with community partners too. And I think some of the supports around identifying potential funding opportunities, it sounds like for this project, there's already probably some funding in place, but if there's future stages of the project, I think that could also be something that our team could support with. So she can reach out to, or you can connect us directly, or she can reach out to us by email at knowledge.engagement@ucalgary.ca. And we can set up a consult either with myself and the manager of the team or with our knowledge engagement specialist to talk more about that. Does that sound okay?
That sounds fantastic. I'll connect her via email and we'll happy to hear what moves next.
Later that same year, Megan has met another hurdle and has another request for support. This one is proving challenging for Tara and the SII to triage. Let's see how they rise to this challenge at their meeting of the Social Innovation Collaborative.
Great, thanks. Okay, next item for the Social Innovation Collaborative meeting. A little bit of a troubleshooting request for an innovation idea that seems to have run into a little bit of a barrier. You may already be familiar with Dr. Megan Edwards. I've checked in with her that her previous support requests have been dealt with, and she said great things about the support that both Knowledge Engagement, Hunter Hub, and Innovate Calgary have provided. That said, her current project involves surveying community partners about their research relationships with UCalgary, and she's looking for strategies to increase recruitment among these partners. Our social innovation, our social innovation initiative team, Dr. Benzies and I worked with her on healthy equity resources, work plans, and various communication approaches, but we weren't sure if any research groups in the broader University of Calgary innovation ecosystem might have good advice for her on this issue.
That's something we can jump in and help with here at W21C. So we are, as you know, a health research program housed right here within the O'Brien Institute. And we have a large multidisciplinary team of mixed methods, qualitative, quantitative researchers representing many disciplines from across campus. And recruitment is certainly one of the things that we do, but as she progresses through her project and if things evolve, we can also help her with some of the other activities that we do. So survey design, data analysis, literature reviews, things along those lines. So we can definitely meet with her and have a conversation about what she needs to do and set her up with one of our research support staff. We're either research assistant, research associate, depending on who she's looking for, and help her with that.
Fantastic. Any other suggestions? Oh, Sarah.
Yes, thanks. So as you know, I work with Mitacs. Mitacs is a national organization that helps to provide support for exactly this kind of scenario. So anytime we hear about a researcher who's looking to work with community partners, particularly outside of the university, this is the perfect moment to think of Mitacs for bringing together these two sides. We have a number of different programs. In Megan Edwards' case, I would probably recommend our Accelerate program, which is our most popular program, which provides funding for between 4 months and 4 years for student interns or PhD graduate students and postdoctoral researchers to come and support on projects, particularly ones where there is a cross collaboration between the university and a community partner. So this sounds like a perfect opportunity for her. And we work with researchers from all disciplines from all the universities across Canada. So I'm sure we can find the right people to help connect Megan to.
That is perfect. Those are both great ideas. Thank you, Jeremy and Sarah. I'll introduce you to Megan, and I'm sure she'll find your support super helpful.
Our fabulous actors. And what do you think? They're going to stay in place for the question and answer period. So what do you think? Do you or your colleagues have any projects you want to put through this project process? Any questions or comments on feedback on UC's social innovation ecology itself? Or any questions for any of our actors on their real life work? And while you are pondering this, I wanted to ask the first question of Megan. So this was based on reality, but I'm curious about, how accurate was it? Where are you now in the process? What's going on?
It was pretty accurate, like when you say, Katrina, we have been through all of these. Yeah. And I continue to work with most of the fine people at this table on this project. So Katrina and I did end up building the Equity Hub, and we're working hard on that. And I'm the community capacity and education lead there because I'm in the teaching stream. So a lot of my work has to do with student roles in the community. And I've been able to really carry out quite a bit of data collection on that topic. And Tara has helped me in other ways, like organizing my, contact list and meetings and how people are connecting with each other and when. Like, she helps me with things like that even, because that's not my strong suit. Keeping all the balls juggling. And right now, my student who is doing this work around looking at community relationships, especially in the student role, and then how we're working together for health equity and equity in general, we've been talking about it some more, and I've continued to talk about this with Joanne, and we just spoke about this last week. And really, we want to expand this project because the initial data that we're getting, they are indicating some really interesting things about what our community is saying and areas for improvement. And ways that we can ensure that we're having impact, multi-year impact. And so we're thinking about expanding the project, and then we're talking to Sarah at Mitacs around getting some support for that. Yeah, so anyway, it's all good. It's moving very well, thanks to these folks.
Success story. Excellent. Any questions from the audience or online? And we can still, yeah, we can run that, mic, and then if, depending on who has the answer, can come up and use this mic to answer. There, Nishan has one, Heather has one. Go Nishan first.
Thanks. That was fantastic. I've put this question to, well, I spoke to Joanne at Innovate Calgary, but what about questions that are related to legal? Because it's involves the UFC and legal's often hard pressed. Where in the pipeline is the best place to go to ask questions about legal?
Who has an answer for that? They want to step up? Anyone? Sure.
So knowledge engagement is housed within research services, and we do have a research services legal and IP team. So you can always reach out to them with questions about contracts, around partnerships, around any kind of data sharing agreements or financial agreements, project contracts, that kind of thing. So I would say legal and IP in research services would be a great place to go for that. Thank you, Nishan, who is also in research services.
And I think Heather over there. Okay, Faye has an addition before you start.
I'm not sure if everyone knows about the fantastic resource at U Calgary is the BLG Venture Clinic. So we do have a venture clinic on campus. So it's hosted on Hunter Hub that they have a weekly office hour. So we have a professor who is really written kind of like the Bible of the entrepreneurial legal side of things. So we have U Calgary law students who are coming in, and then you can come to Hunter Hub and ask them any questions regarding your patent tech transfer, and they have all knowledge, and it's all for free. So check it out. So I'm happy to make the connections for you. Yeah.
Hi, thanks for the panel presentation and the fun way of presenting the material. I really like that. So I'm a big fan of hackathons, and I've chatted with some people like Sarah and Aleem, and different people know that I love hackathons. And we've had some really great experience on the global health side of even pushing ourselves to think more outside the box through engaging with students from other universities around the world on a joint initiative to think about a social need and come together as an interdisciplinary team. And I've liked hackathons as sort of a way of not only looking at exploring a social need, but also a way of teaching students some skill sets and how to interact. And I was just wondering if there's any sort of thoughts from the panel about that process, or comments on the evidence of how that builds students' skills, that type of thing.
That's a fantastic question, and also great timing. So the Hunter Hub, we have Hunter Hub Solutions Lab, which is a hackathon that offers social change for students across the university to participate. And we also offer workshops and also mentorship along with that hackathon. So this year we're still accepting applications, and that's part of weeks-long process. And at the end of the hackathon, we're going to be paired with the teams and work with the teams, and they're going to submit a video kind of pitch of what they're trying to solve the problem. So this year's theme, and we usually partner with the Office of Sustainability to work on the 17 the United Nations Sustainable Goals. And this year we're trying to tackle the climate change. And in the previous years, we did food resilience and also the Zero Waste Campus Challenge as well. So we can talk further, and we would love to develop more of that kind of hackathons for students to participate, to get a feel on what that feels like. Yeah.
Thanks. And can I jump in with one more question, Jamie? It's a different question. Kind of for my health sector colleagues, Laura and I were talking earlier about I guess just sort of thinking back to the earlier presentation on educational social innovation leadership in the academy as well. Where do you see the line between quality improvement and social innovation? Right? And what makes an innovation an innovation? I'm really interested in that because we focus so much on quality improvement in the work that we do here. So where is that line? And I was reflecting a little bit on the difference between a social innovation that aims to, I believe the words were update or, sort of improve versus transform. Kind of thinking more broadly about what do we really mean there around social innovation, and does it have to be tied to social transformation or not to really count as a social innovation? Thanks.
That's a tough question. Do you guys want to, or should I call up Karen, or what do you think? Okay.
Thanks for the great question, Heather. So I think that it's an interesting one where it's not a well-defined line. And I think that if you asked every single person in this room that you would get a different answer from every single person. There is overlap between quality improvement and social innovation. I think it's a common thing that happens between disciplines where people might use one term in one discipline or one area or even one sector, and they might use a different terminology in another. So from my perspective, quality improvement is more focused on the process. It's more focused on the steps. Social innovation, I think, can encompass some aspects of quality improvement, but I think that there's a bigger piece to it, that maybe it's that social justice, social impact that we were sort of talking about, that you alluded to, but it's whether or not something is innovation, I think is a very difficult question, because defining innovation, again, you're going to get a different answer from every single person that you ask. But is it transformative? Quality improvement can be transformative, but it's not always. I would say, not all penguins, or all penguins are birds, not all birds are penguins.
Looks like Joanne had one. That's a hard line to follow.
I would say too that I think I'm one of these. Okay, I'll do this. That you might start off with quality improvement, right? And as you're in the process, you're building relationships, you're talking to advisors, you're in the innovation ecosystem, you're then thinking of different scales of impact. So you might not know at the start about the extent or the scale or the reach of your impact that then leads to systems change or getting upstream and working at the root cause. That can come later. So it could be, don't define yourself in the beginning, and it's a journey, and see where you go and sort of where your impact ends up going.
Got one online here. And while we're waiting, Jamie Kaufman, was there anything you wanted to add later about what if W21C has anything coming up with hackathons or the innovation? Think about that while we do this. No updates? Okay. All right. Online question.
So online question from Alexandra Harrison. Is there funding available to help community organizations develop their infrastructure to engage with their community?
Right up here. We're making work up your appetite for lunch.
I'm one of these. Yes, there is, but we need to have a conversation. So it's not just you apply for the funding and you get the funding and you get the money and you go off and do your business. So I'd love to have a conversation with you about the Social Innovation Initiative. You can contact us. We actually have a webpage. The whole week is dedicated to that page right now, but there is, and I actually challenge all the researchers to start thinking about their work in a little bit of a different mindset. We're here to be servants, and it's really about serving our community. It's about making change in that community and driving that initiative and creating that impact that really benefits everyone. So community agencies were again, reverse engineering the process to say, what is community looking for? What do they need? And how can they leverage the support from the University of Calgary and its bench strength to drive their missions mandates forward? Because I think together we'll collectively drive positive change. I hope that answered your question.
So this is a kind of a lower scale follow-up to that, but the question makes me think of some of the SHRC partnership funding that's available. So the Social Sciences and Humanities Research Council does have a partnership stream of funding that allows partnerships between the university and other organizations. And the Partnership Engage grant is about connecting with an organization, and some of those funds could be used to support the needs of time at the partner organization. So that could also be, again, needs a further conversation to kind of scope out what that ask is specifically about. But there might be, there's obviously going to be kind of like funds in the community space, but there may also be funds in that traditional academic space that can allow that kind of community impact as well. So might be some interesting conversations in there.
It's a fantastic panel. Two questions. One, is there a red phone? So is there like one number we can dial? And then that'll get us to the right person?
It's walking right now.
There really should be an SII bat phone. I agree. There is and there isn't. So this is the point of this whole panel. There is really no wrong door, Tom, and to the broader community. If you connect in with the Social Innovation Initiative led by Dr. Karen Benzies, if you even connect with Stephanie at Knowledge Engagement, Sarah at Mitacs, Jamie at W21C, Joanne at Innovate Calgary, Faye at the Hunter Hub, you'll connect to the system essentially. So it's tapping a system because that's really what it takes, a village, you guys, to make it work. So I hope that answers your question, Tom.
No, that's perfect. And so my follow-up question then is, it's impressive to hear how Dr. Edwards has come to you and navigated the process and has moved her initiative forward. What can an institute like O'Brien do to send you more individuals like Dr. Edwards?
Good question. I think just send them our way and let's have that conversation and dialogue. I don't think any one of us are strangers to listening to the work that's being done here and how we can support in any capacity. And if our system doesn't have an answer, we'll dig in. That's sort of I call the Social Innovation Initiative a little bit of forensic digger. We dig the whole, not only the institution, but also broader community. We're no stranger to Calgary's innovation ecosystem that's available to support great members like Platform Calgary. You've got, Startup Alberta happening as well. So there's a lot of members in our community that can help as well. Just connect with us. Yeah, you go ahead.
And I'll just add, just don't be shy to reach out. Like, don't hesitate, have those conversations, because I think a lot of times people don't know what they don't know, and they're not aware of the resources. And it may not just be social innovation, it may be broader innovation. There may be other connections, there may be other hubs that expand beyond the University of Calgary that this hub can connect you in with. And that can be the start of something even bigger than that. And so as a program, then as a center, that's what we always tell people is, don't hesitate and worry about taking up someone's time to have a meeting or grab a coffee and ask the questions, because more often than not, people will come and they think they know what they're looking for. They think they have a sort of a preconceived notion of where they are in that pipeline, and they may not completely understand or know what the resources are that might be available to them. And so just to have a conversation and kind of hash some of those things out can be really, really valuable. And it's not a waste of anyone's time to do that. And I think people more often than not will hesitate with that piece. And it's just do something. It's that idea. So never hesitate to reach out to anybody within this group, or to Tom to connect you into this group. No, but yeah, that's the best advice you can get, is to just kind of do it.
Sorry, just to add one more thing at risk of have too many of us answer. Tom, if there's anyone like yourself, like others in the room who are looking for the kind of support that we are all purporting to offer, we're also happy, I would say for most of us, if not all of us, to come to you. If you're having a faculty meeting or you're having like a monthly call or a quarterly thing, please invite us. We're happy to come and do a 5-minute, a 10-minute, a 20-minute expose of here's the ways that we can help you. Here's how to get in touch with us. Here's when, and to make ourselves more accessible, because often faculty, it's that step too far. They've heard of it, they've seen it, but bringing us in front of them is also a really valuable way that you can connect the dots.
I'm the interloper here. You go first if you have more time.
Okay, thank you. I was just gonna say, well, the way at O'Brien there are I don't know what they're called, when people have an idea, and they could come and meet with a small group. Is that what it's called? Propel? Chalk talks, that's what it is. It occurs to me that could also be an idea when people are like, I think I have something. Turn Chowdhury and I got brave and we're doing Launchpad. So we just started last week. So, but Faye was just, I happened into the Hunter Center my first week here, and Faye was just like so helpful and introduced me to, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I've talked to a number of people already on the panel, but I found it that way. But I just wonder if there could be something internal first. And obviously there's other people that have already had experience, you know what I mean? But I didn't even know, because I was like, oh, I would have asked you. So I think that's the other thing.
Should we find someone to sit on the panel who has an innovation perspective? Because we don't. We think of it in terms of either content expertise or mentorship expertise, but we generally don't think of it as terms of innovation expertise, which most of us don't have, right? So should we be inviting Faye to come to our Chalk Talks?
There is some precedent for that, where some folks from Innovate Calgary, and I'm sure others, have been asked to sit on review committees for exactly that purpose. So.
So first question, does life really mirror art? Kidding. And it actually, yeah, sure. Okay. So that makes the second question. Is there anyone like this system is doing things? So two thoughts came to mind. This system would be amazing to tap the minds of you about what the barriers are to innovation, because you're tapping into all of those every day. But the second one really is, who do you really annoy here by doing the work that you're doing? Like, is there like something, because you're sort of troublemakers in a way. Yeah. Anyone?
Yeah, so we actually have a shared intake form between Knowledge Engagement Innovate Calgary and the Social Innovation Initiative, which is helpful because then if it's someone that we're recommending to each other, we've already got the data points. We don't have to have you repeat yourself 50 times over, which is really helpful. So that's a good question in terms of disrupting. It is a culture change. It really is. It's a mindset change. It's going to take time, but we were told from our leadership team at the VPR, get out of their way, which is great. So I think we're open to change. We're open to explore. We're open to discover. we're not going to be perfect. We know this. There will be mistakes that are made along the way, but we'll work together to create that sort of disruptive change here at the institution, which is great. And it does come down to how we approach our system as well. So we invite any new members to the collaborative that want to join and want to have a conversation and want to engage and really help mobilize social innovation here at the Institute. But more importantly, we also want to hear from community. So I know that there's a few community members that are online, maybe even here in person, to talk with us to really understand what are we doing incorrectly that's creating a barrier for you, that is not allowing you access to support resources, ideas, etc., that can help you move your mission and mandate forward too. So it's a two-way conversation, never just a one-way. Oh, we're at time.